Good afternoon, Toastmasters. Are you ready to be judgmental for today? Yeah. I mean to learn about judging, not judgmental. Sorry for my mistake. And of course, we welcome you to the second part of the judges training. I am Toastmaster Lloyd Pereda, and let me give you some brief guidelines of today's meeting. Of course, there's no scheduled fire alarm testing for the day. So whenever you hear the alarm, please calmly and quietly go through the exits. Do not use the lift. Most likely the lift will not be working. Take the stairs and we'll go to the assembly point right outside this venue. And for the toilets, we have the toilets on that corner of this building. Once you go out the rooms, it's on the leftmost corner, and I hope everyone will enjoy this training. And of course, without further ado, we are running a bit late. Let me introduce to you a leader who wears many hats: a lawyer, a lifelong learner, a proud double distinguished Toastmaster in pathways. She specializes in anti-money laundering and comes from a vibrant city of Chennai. She believes in moving forward no matter what. Run if you can, walk if you must, even crawl if needed, but never give up. Known for her dedication and action-oriented spirit and her ever-cheerful smile, please join me in welcoming our District Director, distinguished Toastmaster, Alarmel Mangay.
Thank you, DLM. Can we have a loud round of cheers, applause for dedication, logistics manager, life and never ceases to be amazing in arranging meetings, whether he has been given a day notice or a month notice. He ensures the quality is maintained. He deserves one more round of cheers. Recognizing the presence of past district director DTM Thailand, past district director DTM Rajesh BC, past district division area, and my dear future leaders. Good afternoon. It can be louder. I know you're all sleepy. But that biryani in the can it be more cheerful? The loudest cheer you all can make to come out of that.
Good afternoon.
That's the maximum cheer you all can have. Give me.
Good afternoon.
Excellent. With all your cheers, let me open this judges meeting. Can I come this? I know I'm audible. If I stand there, I know I'm not visible. Am I now visible and audible together?
Yes.
Thank you. The things that make us jealous always inspire. Do you all agree with me? You can disagree also. Sometimes, jealousy could take us to a wrong road also. But for me, it is always the inspiration. During this 2 months, especially my visit to convention, I got inspired by two things. I want to share it with you all. I know you're all here for judges training. This is also slightly pertinent. I thought I should be sharing. So how many of you have attended all the district training so far? Great number of participation. Believe me, I didn't believe in it when DTM Shweta came up this plan of trainings. I was like, oh my God, Shweta, do you think it's even possible? I was in charge of this program quality and training previous year. And I always like people breaking the benchmark we set. DTM Bindu set a brilliant benchmark of enlisting n number of trainings, and we all enjoyed that. I thought that's the best ever we can make it. And DTM Shweta, okay, in 2 months, can we give a big round of applause to DTM Shweta? And for entire team. We love you. Keep up the good work. You all, your entire team inspires. Coming to the next part of the inspiration, what I got it in the last 10 days, my attendance in the convention. You might not be, seeing me posting photos here and there. I'm not that social media person. But this, I wanted to give a write-up on this particular topic. When I was interacting with some of the leaders from the other countries, one particular thing on and off came about District 116. Can some of you guess what it is? When we say we are from District 116, Qatar, how we were identified? I want a guess from the audience. Let it be a wild guess. An outsider of the district. How did they look at this? Anything else? Well, I was also expecting the same thing. Whoever the other district people, I do not know, I was introducing, yes, I'm the district director of District 116. Got surprised by this comment. Oh, Nisha district. Oh, what kind of impact the contest makes, correct? It is not just about the contest, the perseverance. Time and again, as you go on, you create, you set, you become the inspiration for many. And kudos to all our leaders. Yes, we were also noted for our being number 1, number 2, all these things. But those things can fade away. But the inspiration we create will never fade away. That reminds me, yes, you're all on to an important role of becoming the judges here. So if I start sharing these experiences, this day won't be enough, and we will be missing the main purpose for what you're all signed up now. So let us get on to the serious business. How many of you are attending the judges training for the first time? Can I ask them to stand up if possible? If it's okay, yeah. Wow, those who are sitting, giving them a loud round of applause. Thank you, leaders. You may take your seats. And now you will be applauding those dedicated team of leaders who are here. I know some of them have been continuously attending the training, though they are the trainers. They've been part of district judges training. They've been the engagement manager. They are the past district directors. Still, I see them continuously attending. They deserve a salute from yours truly. They are here to make it ensure that we choose the best of the best who can make the district proud at the World Championship. So that's a responsibility they want to cascade to the members who are joining the fraternity. And we have a lot to learn from them. Life is always a continuous learning. And that's one thing I would request when you are a seasoned judge or a new judge, ensure that you stick to the rules, ethics, no matter how many times you have read the rules, read your rules and ethics before getting into the business of judging. Judging is not judging as long as we do it with dedication and from heart. Always, I keep reminding myself whenever I'm assigned I take the role of a judge. I'm here to decide an aspiration of a person who wants to be the world champion of public speaking. So let me do justice. Keep this one thing in your mind, whether you're in a contest, club, area, division, district, no matter wherever. If you are a contestant also, go with the balance. You'll see that you make the real difference. With that, it's now time for for us to get into the learning session. And for that, we have an appropriate person who used to be in my team. Rather, I had the pleasure of working with her for more than now 5 years. And this person always comes up with the intricacies, nuances in the rules. Mangai, what is this? How this is to be interpreted? We had lengthy discussions. That's when this role of judges engagement came to my mind. The first name that came to all of our team members is this person. And of course, she's specializing in IT and cybersecurity as her profession, but she always prioritizes Toastmasters when it comes to taking up of roles or any kind of assignments we give her. She ensures she does it to her best and gives her best. Loud round of cheers as we welcome Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, Didi. District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Alamil Mangai, past District Directors, Division Area Leaders, potential contestants, judges. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me start with a question. How many of you here plan to compete this year? Can I see a raise of hands? Okay. Why are you competing? To win? Yes, definitely to win. Right? So how do you win?
When you know the rules.
Judges have to pick you. Yes. Yes, definitely the judges have to pick you. So to know that, you need to know how they are going to judge the best. Now, I'm not going to ask how many of you are going to be judges. Probably the rest of you plan to be judges. So what is the objective of a judge? To pick the right winner. So again, to pick the right winner, they need to know what each of the criteria is. So this is why we say the judges training, it's not just for judges. It's equal. I would say it is equally important for both contestants and the judges. And that's why we encourage everyone to attend this. Now, when I was choosing the trainers for this session, what I had in mind was I need someone who has been on both sides of the contest. That means they have been a contestant. They know how, the mind, how a contestant does. At the same time, they have also been judges. So they know both sides of it. So if you look at the names, you will see all of them have been contestants and they have also done judging. So you have the best of trainers here. Make sure you use them. Note down your points so that end of each session, you can have, ask the questions, right? So let me just brief you the agenda. We will be starting off with the rule book changes so that we know what are the specific rules, and followed by the international contest, speech judging. And then we have the evaluation, and then the humorous, and finally the table topics. In between, we have 2 stretch breaks also, along with the prayer timing. So, and again, just to ensure, any questions you have, please note it down. At the end of each segment, we will have that Q&A session so that we finish off each part and then we move on to the next. All clear?
Yes.
Great. So let me not take more time. To start off today's session, the first segment is the changes in the rule book. And to take us through this part, we have an IT manager by profession. She works for Logic Systems Middle East in the field of industrial automation at Hamad International Airport. She joined Toastmasters in 2018, and she has been the recipient of the District Toastmaster of the Year for the term 2021-22. She's been a past area director and the TLI chair, the current district administration manager. So if I have to say something about her, I would say, I'm sure all of you would agree, she's someone who's always there to support you to do anything related to Toastmasters. And more than that, what I would say is she's like me, I read a lot. So whenever I see this contest rule book or all these things, I make sure I read through each and everything. So she's one other person I have seen who does the same. So any kind of questions, whenever even I have a doubt, I send a message to her. Bindu, is this what it is? And especially the TA branding, she is my go-to person. Any questions, any doubts, I send it to her. So I feel she's the best person to take this session. So let's put our hands together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Bindu Delia.
Can you all hear me? Thank you, Judges Engagement Manager. To all the past and present district officers, our district directors, past and present district officers, our club members, a hearty good afternoon to all of you. So, can we start? The speech contest, the World Championship of Public Speaking, let's put it that way, is a tradition in Toastmasters International. So are all the speech contests. Do you agree? Yes. What else? Can you name something else which are tradition of Toastmasters International? Anything else? Giving a constructive feedback, a constructive criticism, right? So they are also an integral part of Toastmasters educational program. So are the speech contests as well. Every year, thousands of Toastmasters, right? They compete from the club level all the way to the area, to the division, to the district, and finally, where? To the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and finally, we witnessed the World Championship of Public Speaking last week. Yes? Now, what are the type of contests that we have in Toastmasters? Can you name? International speech contest.
Humorous.
Humorous speech contest. Evaluation contest.
Table topic.
Table topic contest. From somewhere from the back. Tall tales contest. Yes. From there at the back. Anyone?
Online.
Video speech contest. One more.
Online.
Online speech contest. You were saying something? Storytelling is tall tales contest. Right? So we have all these contests in Toastmasters International, and this is how we are. Now, how does a speech contest happen? Do we just have rules just like that? No. Let me take you through what we have to conduct a speech contest. Clear for you? You can see the screen? Today, we are running through the speech contest protocol on which the guidelines are built to conduct the speech contest and the changes to the rule book 2025-26. Right? Can you proceed?
Yes.
Now, the contest protocol, the guidelines on which the speech contest is to be carried out, right from the club level all the way to the World Championship of Public Speaking. There are something that defines an organization. Okay, there are some policies, protocols, bylaws that define an organization that are called the governing documents. Like every organization, Toastmasters International also has a governing document in place, and you'll find it in the Toastmasters website. And there is something called the policy 6.0, which is referring to the speech contest. So any changes in this policy will be reflected in your speech contest or anything for the following year. And this is done by the administrative protocol, the board of directors. And this is where you see policy 6.0, speech contest, under the speech contest, under the policy and protocol of the governing documents. It's just for your information. Now, all what is there, the guidelines are clearly written in a speech contest rule book. It's item number 1179. This is the book, the document numbering, the revision 7. This is the latest revision as of now, revision 7, 2025. So when you get a speech contest rule book in your hand, please refer to the version. Whether it is 2025, 26, you will find the World Championship of Public Speaking 2024. And do you know who is this? Luisa Montalvo. And very soon, I hope we see our own Nisha Shivram also on this page. On this, yeah. So, yes, now we have a speech contest rulebook from July 1st, 2025 to June 13, 2026. These are all the rules that you will follow for the speech contest. Again, direct from the club contest all the way to the World Championship of Public Speaking. Now, you want to know what the changes from the last year, right? So this is also defined in a document which is called the speech contest rulebook. This looks like this, okay? It is the item 637. The latest revision as of date is revision 6, 2025. This is how it looks. It has the previous year, how it was, the changes in the current year, the changes are highlighted in red, okay? And the explanation of the changes. So this is how the speech contest rulebook changes look like. Now, where do you find it? You will find it in the resource library under the Toastmasters International website. So all you have to do is navigate to the resource library, the Toastmasters International website, search for the speech contest materials. You will find the rule book and the rule book changes as well. But I mentioned this just for you to know that you have to look into the right book, because you'll find the speech contest rule book of the previous year as well, with the World Championship of Public Speaking 2023. Again, who is it? Jocelyn Tyson. So it's not that. You should look for this specific book. Can you proceed? Going on to the changes, the very first change. Someone said we have video speech contest, right? Discontinuation of the video speech contest is the very first change. That is, the video speech contest was in place from the pandemic time. From the time of pandemic, it was introduced for the undistricted clubs, where clubs not formed under any other particular district, or for provisional districts, right? So it was there in place from then. And now, because of the, let's say, decline in participation and the number of participating districts and clubs, they have decided, who has decided, the board of directors have decided that 2024 was the last to conduct the video speech contest. So that marks the end of it. So in this particular rule book of this year, you will find that this particular section is completely removed. Okay? So wherever the language is totally changed, wherever you have specifics about the video speech contest, it is completely removed, either rephrased or completely removed. Clear? So page 5 has this, page 6 has something related to the video speech contest. So everything is completely cleared out in the current rule book. This is just for your information, nothing to do with our district. We don't conduct a video speech contest here, so it doesn't matter. Can we proceed to the change number 2? Is it clear with change number 1? Yes. So when you discuss the type of contest that you have in Toastmasters International, you're no more going to say about the video speech contest. Now, change number 2, scheduling of district contest events. Every year, the district director recommends which type of contests are conducted in the district. And that is to be approved in the first executive committee meeting. district executive committee meeting of that term. Okay. Now, they have changed the policy 6.0 to reflect that. It is not only the type of contest that the district director will recommend, but district director can also recommend the time at which the events have to take place. So they have introduced an October-November event, as well as there is the normal event that we have, the district annual conference event that we have between March 15 and June 1st, any day, right? So now we can have 2 events, and the district director gets to recommend and the district executive committee to approve. But this year, we have not agreed on any October-November events. That means we will stay with the same type of contest as last year. So what all did we have in District 116 as of last year? International speech contest, humorous speech contest, evaluation contest,
Table topic.
table topics, and we had 3 more.
Languages.
And language speech contest, yes. Arabic speech contest,
Tamil.
Malayalam speech contest, and Tamil speech contest. Right? So we remain with the same that is agreed in the executive committee this term. So no events, multiple events. So any reference to the district contest events that you see, so they are mentioned very clearly for the additional English speech contest. That is, what is the additional speech contest? Apart from additional to the international speech contest, right? Because it's only the international speech contest that moves all the way from the district to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and to the world championship, right? Now, none of the other contests moves. So they are very clearly mentioned. If you look into this particular page, speech contest policy 2 and 3, they have mentioned about both the language speech contest as well as the non-English speech contest. Sorry, of the English, additional English speech contest, which are humorous, evaluation, and table topics. Is that clear for you?
Yes.
I have some doubtful faces in front of me. Anything? Clear? Yeah. So you are pasted in as many changes related to this particular change. Here, we have page 5 and page 6. Can we move on to the change number 3?
Yes.
Yes? Now, the change number 3 is the exceptions to the contest rules. Okay? Normally, we say if any, normally the board of directors, they come together, there's an administrative protocol who agrees on the changes that comes for the speech contest rules, right? No changes are made to that after that. But this time, from this year, what has been mentioned is the chief executive officer. Who is our chief executive officer of Toastmasters International? Daniel Rex. So Daniel Rex can make exceptions to the rule book only for safety reasons. Right? So this is very clearly mentioned. He didn't say that he will make changes just like that. For any safety reasons, if required, at the discretion of only the chief executive officer, nobody else. Is that clear? This is the only change which is there in with respect to this particular exception to the contest rules. Change number 4. Clarification on eligibility criterion for contest officials. Normally, in all the contests, we say the contest officials should be just the paid members. Here, specifically, especially for the evaluation contest, they have mentioned that, including the test speaker, they should be paid members as well as be physically present for the contest. For an in-person contest, they must be physically present at the venue. You cannot have the test speaker online and remaining here, or part of the judges online, right? You must have all the contest officials in person for an in-person contest, except the only exception is for the online speech contest. Only exception is for the online speech contest where all the officials need to be online. So that is very clear. All officials need to be online. Clear until this? Yes. Now change number 5. This is very specific to the international speech contest rules related to the quarterfinals. So what happens? Who moves on to the quarterfinals?
District.
the district winner of which contest? All the district winners?
Yes, sir.
District winner of the first place winner of the district, the international speech contest conducted in the district during daytime, they move on to the quarterfinals. What is being done now? Their video is being recorded, right? Their video is recorded. There's a certain requirements mentioned in the speech contest rulebook, and also the trio is informed sometimes a week or like weeks back or even months. Continuously, they are informed of what the video requirements should be, right? So a video of high definition, so and so, all this is very clearly informed. It is also mentioned in our speech contest rulebook. So what they have said is, this is for the program quality department in general. Only one time submission of the first place winner's video is permitted. If it gets disqualified, there is no option for a second time submission. But the district is given 3 business days to submit the video of the next highest place contestant. If that video also gets disqualified, the district doesn't take part in the quarterfinals. This is a very important point. Those who are contesting, especially in the international speech contest and reaching the district, please keep in mind, make sure that the contest officials are recording the video properly according to the requirements, are tested beforehand. We have had many cases in the past. So are tested beforehand, because only one time submission of the first placed winner is allowed. If it gets disqualified, again, Toastmasters allow you to submit the video of the second highest placed contestant. Again, if it gets disqualified, district is disqualified for the quarterfinals. Clear?
Yes.
All right. These are all what is mentioned, what I said. Now, this is most on the clarity of the contest chair's rights. Okay. Now, this says the contest chair can disqualify a contestant based on the eligibility. Now, what is the eligibility? He or she should be a paid member, right? What else? If for an international speech contest, they must have completed at least 2 levels. So these are all the eligibility criteria. And these can be judged, these can be all known beforehand, before the contest. And the contest chair must inform the contestant beforehand of the eligibility violations, right? So this is very clear. Now, during the contest, now what I said before was before the contest. Now, during the contest, what happens is, this is related to the protest alone. Any protest, what happens, who does it, to whom can you inform the protest? To the chief judge and or the contest chair. Only to both of them, right? And any protest must be resolved before the meeting is adjourned. Sorry, before the protest is adjourned. Right? So the chief judge resolves any protest before the contest is adjourned. So this is what is very clearly mentioned. Earlier in the contest chair's checklist, all about the protest was mentioned there. They have removed all the lines and pushed it to the chief judge's checklist. So this is why you find a lot of lines which are removed. Moving ahead, any disqualifications other than eligibility during the contest, that is in case of originality or referring to another contestant or to another contestant's speech, must not be discussed with the contestant by the contest chair. Clear? Only time disqualifications will be revealed. That too, only the number of time disqualifications, not who has been time disqualified. No. Right? So contest chair's duty is very clear. Before the contest, can inform about the eligibility of the contestant. Any disqualifications due to eligibility can be informed. During the contest, only the number of time disqualifications will be revealed. No further disqualifications will be informed to the contestants. Moving to the change number 7, that is the chief judge's responsibilities. Again, I put in the contest chair's checklist just to show you that this particular statement has been totally removed and put it into the chief judge's responsibility. During the contest, again, the same thing, what I mentioned, the disqualification, this is all about the contest chair's checklist, but these are all moved to the chief judge's checklist. All about the protest, how the chief judge will handle the protest. You'll be getting another training on how the chief judges handle the protest and the chief judge's checklist. But chief judges, when they handle the protest, they give a chance for the contestant to come over and speak about it, but the results are not to be announced to the contestant. Any disqualifications earlier in the previous rule book, there was a clause that the chief judge may talk to the contestant on the time disqualification, but here they have rephrased it that no disqualifications are to be talked to the contestants. Again, there is an after the contest, there was one statement called.
One question I have. When the protest is there, normally we give it too much concern the speaker to give an extra justification. So what we are saying is that we should not be talking that.
No, that will happen. That procedure will happen, but the results are not announced back to the contestant that he is being disqualified or not. Now, moving ahead, during the contest, normally a list is given to the contest chair with all the contestants, all the winners in the order, right? Now, from now on, only the results form is being given to the contest chair. Okay, the notification of winners with all the winners written is to be handed over to the contest chair of the next immediate contest. That is, if you're in club, to the area contest official. If you're in area, to the division contest official, division to the district. If it is district, to the Toastmasters International by our program quality director. An entire after the contest session is added to the chief judge's checklist. Okay, this is regarding again the notification of the winners is being sent to the next contest official. All contest forms have to be disposed. It's very clearly mentioned. It was not really mentioned in the rule book, even though we used to practice it. Do not discuss any details of the protest or disqualifications with anyone. Right? Is that clear?
Yes.
Here, I complete all the changes related to the contest rule book for this year. These are some of the QR codes which I put the links to the contest rule book changes and speech contest materials for you. So you click on that, you go directly to the Toastmasters International and download always the latest version. I don't want to share you the PDF, it might change. Okay. So this is what you have. Any questions? I'm open to questions.
First one, you said online. In the club, we can still have one.
In the club, we can still have one.
Change that the contest will be adjourned only after the protest will be
Resolved.
Yes.
Yes.
Will lead to a problem. It's a logistic problem because we are conducting a 2-hour contest. And let's say you have to stop the contest, wait for the results. We are going to have a problem. Maybe I think we should write to saying that this is not practical. Because let's say you have to stop the contest at 11 o'clock for the prayer time or for lunch or something. Now, you cannot stop and the contest will be delayed.
Please explain it so that everyone will understand.
We didn't hear you.
Yeah.
No, the rule book says no.
It's not audible, sir.
Please switch on.
One of the changes is earlier they said you should conclude after you adjourn the contest, you cannot raise a protest. Now they are saying we can adjourn the contest only after the protest is resolved. Correct?
Yes, that's right.
If that is the case, let's say a humorous speech is over and a protest is raised, we'll have to first do the tally, then call the judges, then do this. It's going to take some time. And the whole contest, whatever 2 hours or 3 hours you have active, will be delayed. And especially on a Friday, it will be a bigger problem. So I think we should raise it with the Toastmasters and ask for them. Maybe what we can do is if there is a protest, and before adjourning, we can say there's a protest.
Yes, totally agree with you, sir. One of the way we can handle this particular situation is normally we have go for only 4 types of contests. We have, we choose either evaluation and humorous, evaluation and international, and the other way, table topics and international. What we can do is normally in the table topics and evaluation, the protest, if any, will be on the eligibility that can be resolved by the chief judge
Prior to the contest.
prior to the contest. That won't be a thing. We can always have the 2 larger contests at the end, so that if there is any protest that can be resolved and the contestant can adjourn after giving the certificates. That can be done to accommodate this request. We will still write to them.
As we will have challenge them.
Yes.
So I don't see any merit to.
Yeah,
only
while
to
they are
protest.
particular about this, we will still get this clarified, sir. Well noted. Hope this is clear to everyone also, right? And even when you plan your club contest also, plan it in such a way that you give maximum break after the 2 important, lengthy contests where you have the possibility of getting any, proposal on conflicts. Yeah. Humorous and international always keep it before the break. Yes.
Anything in the rule book has to be followed in letter and spirit.
Yes.
Yes.
No district officials has a power to go out and take a decision on discussed on this. In this case, what Phillips area is told, there is only one remedy to it, write to TLI and get it clarified. Otherwise, we cannot do anything. If protest comes in, there is no die barrier. You cannot discuss on, we will have international, we will have humorous, nothing like that. Only answer for this is write to TI and ask an exemption. CU can take it. It is very clearly written in the notebook that for safety reasons, CU can give exemption. And here also CU can give an exemption on this.
That's what, I already mentioned, we will be writing. Yeah? This is an alternate suggestion I gave for. We will write and get back process. Thank you, sir.
One more question in the back.
We have 5 minutes. Yes, please.
Do we have a separate Q&A session? Or?
No, this is within the time. Within the time.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Could you please elaborate about the disqualification, like when a contestant is disqualified? Do we need to inform them or it has to be confidential? If it has to be informed, who will inform? What are the criteria that we can inform? What are the criteria that we cannot inform?
Now, disqualifications are basically on eligibility and originality.
And
Additional,
and-
referring to time disqualification, yes, eligibility, originality, and referring to another contestant or contestant's speech, right? It's very clearly mentioned in this particular speech rule book that no disqualifications except the time disqualifications and the disqualifications on eligibility are not to be discussed with the contestant. So you're not going to discuss any disqualifications apart from those of eligibility, that is before the contest. And during the contest, only the time disqualifications are announced, so many time disqualifications. Even the time disqualified contestants are not to be informed of time disqualification. Hope that is clear for everyone. No disqualifications basically are going to be informed except for eligibility, and the number of time disqualifications basically. Okay.
Eligibility, you will inform.
Yes.
Originality also you will tell, because you have to tell the contestant.
It's clearly mentioned not to mention about
The result will not be.
result will not be. Yeah. The result will not be informed to the contestant.
Of course, it will be discussed when there is a
Discussing this.
eligibility, the contestant will be called, the chief judge, all those processes are remain the same.
Anything else?
So we are saying after that discussion about the violation, the candidate will be kept guessing whether he is disqualified or.
Yes. Will not be informed.
Yeah, I was wondering the same.
No information to be informed. Very clearly phrased.
Somebody at the back.
Anyone else?
Simple.
Questions?
Last one.
Any more questions?
One more.
Somebody in the back
Or
was
the,
raising a hand.
Just raising the hands. Or you were just stretching. No more?
Yeah. I think we have come to a closure of all the questions. No more questions from your side? So yes, so here are all the changes that are being discussed. Hope it's very clear to you. I've tried my best to put it down, to narrow it down to 7 different changes. And that's all. If you go into the book, it might be a bit more difficult. I will be sharing this presentation with all of you through the Judges Engagement Manager and the TLI Chair. Thank you. To,
When you read the full book, if there's a dot at the beginning, that means
Yes.
there's a change.
yeah. That is it's not a dot, it's a plus sign. A plus sign on the rule book on the left hand side on the margin. If it is there, it indicates that there is a change from the previous rule book. Okay, this is one way of doing. And also the rule book also contains links to the speech, all the changes, also to all the contest materials or any important books that you need. So all the links are also there in the speech contest rule book. Do have a look into that. Go through all the rules before your contest. So I'll be winding up my session. Thanks to our Judges Engagement Manager for such a wonderful opportunity. I've been giving this is my second session on happy judging and happy contesting.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Bindu Pillai. So now we are all clear about the rule book changes, right? Even though skeptical about a few. Yeah. So let's hope we get to see someone from District 116 on that speech contest rule book in the very near future. Yeah. If now that all the general things are done with, let's move on with the judging part. To kick off, we are going to start off with the International Speech Contest judging. Now, this person, trainer, last term when I was the president of one of the advanced clubs, we have this different kind of meeting with the panel evaluation, who we do evaluation on specific parts. And we invited him to be one of the evaluators. Now, I've never heard him before. It was the first time I was even hearing his name. But then listening to the kind of evaluation he gave, and that too he gave evaluation on the contest speeches. We were like, oh my God, like it was a once in a lifetime kind of evaluation. We were all so shocked and surprised with the kind of feedback that he gave. Even one of our club members, she put it into practice and she reached the DTAC finalist. So I was in no doubt on whom to ask when I wanted this. So this person, he's a competent maintenance and reliability professional from the oil and gas industry, works with KBR Services as the country head operations for Qatar. He has been a Toastmaster since 2002, past area governor from District 79, an award-winning speaker who has been a district level finalist for international speech contest in 4 different occasions. Second place winner of District 79 Table Topics Contest, a celebrated writer and an active blogger who has his work published online as well as in the Saudi Gazette and Bahrain Tribune. Let's put our hands together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Suresh Kumar. Just one more thing to remind everyone. In case you have not received the physical ballots, we have this QR codes. You can scan it and you will get the digital form of the judging ballots. All right.
Yeah, Pradesh. Thank you. The
fantastic introduction and quite surprised. I didn't know that my evaluation made such a big impact. Thank you very much for the kind words. And for some of you who've been there with me for the previous session, I can see Jeremy here and some others as well. So it's a kind of repeat. So bear with me for the repetition, and some of the stuff I say may be repetitive for you. Nevertheless, I try to make it a little bit more intuitive than what it was. So first of all, it's very easy actually. You just distribute the ballots, and all of you can read and write, and you can see the ballots in this board, right? Actually, why do you think that this such a big session is being conducted? Because essentially, the basics or the fundamental premise on which the contest rules are made or contest requirements are built on is objectivity, right? Why is it so? Because human beings by nature always subjective, right? In their relationships, in their affairs, in their outlooks, in what how they think, is that always there's a sense of edge of competition with each other. Or not even competition, but comparison. Not necessarily competition, comparison. But here, we are asking them to leave those natural instincts away and look at objectivity as the primary premise on which the contests are built. That requires specific training and careful analysis and careful introspection as to how we're going to do it. That's why this training is so important, because subjectivity should be kept aside and objectivity should be brought. And based on, like Naila said, based on my experience of being a contestant many times and sometimes losing out at the club level, sometimes the area level, sometimes the division level, and coming back again, I know how it feels. Go and come back again, start all over again. So while objectivity is the premise on which the judging criteria or judging contest judging is to be based upon, I, based on my experience, would say empathy comes above that. Know why? Because the Toastmasters is training years and sometimes months, training for years and months for the speech contest to make her or his voice and ideas be heard, listened, absorbed, imbibed to help and transform the world. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. And all of us, all including the ones who are judging, have joined this movement only to improve themselves, to develop themselves as better communicators, to kind of find their voice and conquer the world and let the world know who they are, what they stand for, and where they come from. Right? So that being the premise on which, if you build the fundamentals, I think the objectivity will automatically come in. So look at it, look at the contestant and understand where he comes from with empathy. And objectivity will come automatically. And when empathy and objectivity comes in, the next most fundamental requirement is fairness. When empathy and objectivity couple together, fairness will follow. Right? But that's what I want to say. That's the fundamental premise on which you should approach judging. Now, I am going to take you through the judging criteria, which I said which is usually self-explanatory. I will explain the elements of the contest judging. However, I will try to explain to you as to what it takes to be prepared and what is expected of a judge in order for you to be able to go through the evaluation, the judging form. So what kind of outlook, your habits, your thought processes, and what pitfalls that you might want to avoid in order to ensure a fair opportunity and good judging, a good job as a judge. So objective of training is to understand the role of a judge, learn the contest rules and criteria, to practice fair and unbiased judging, to avoid common pitfalls, and thereby strengthen the contest credibility. If after the conference, if 30% of the attendants don't, or 40% of the attendants don't agree with results, the credibility is in the question, right? no matter how fair you've been. Right? They say this is rubbish. I mean, we don't agree with it. No? So it doesn't leave, the contest, district director, everybody puts up a huge efforts. I know how difficult it is to make the to run a conference. And as you all agree, the contests form the most important part of the conference, especially in the international speech conference, because it's going further. And then if the 40% of the audience feels that it was not fair, or person who won did not deserve to win, then all the efforts of running this conference is gone. Right? So these the first four are important because you have a role as judges. Maybe 20 of you, while a conference is being attended by 600 people. The 20 judges there can destroy the credibility of the entire conference. Would you agree? Yeah. So that's why that's how important this role. That's how important your function is. That's why it's important. It's not just a matter of just sitting down and passing judgment. You're passing your judgment on the aspirations and the future of a Toastmaster. Maybe the Toastmaster will never come back again. Who knows? Or maybe somebody will show resilience like Disha to come back again and again and again, rising like a phoenix every time she falls. Right? That indomitable spirit is not for everybody. Qualities of a good judge are impartial and objective, as I've already said. Knowledgeable about contest rules, right? Ethical and confidential. Because I've seen in Toastmasters in my long journey, somebody says it very casually in the party, like, yeah, but I didn't vote for you. Because then, you might have 100 justifications. 100 justifications. But that has happened to me. And this happened 20 years ago, I still remember. It happened for my very close friend of mine, who was a judge incidentally. What's wrong? Because that scar will remain in his mind forever. You're not expecting a friend to vote for you, but at least don't tell him that he didn't vote for you. Right? That's not fair. Consistent in applying criteria. Pretty consistent. Don't try to put your thoughts into the contestants' ideas of speech. Look at it in isolation. It's good to have opinion, but don't be opinionated when you're in your role as a judge. Because that would not be fair. Because the contestants usually bring a piece of their own story, a piece of their own life, from where they come, from what they are, from the culture, the background that they come from. Very important to go down there and understand where he comes from, rather than make your opinion based on where you stand. That is your land. Very, very important. That's why I said that again falls in culturally sensitive. Because the cultures are different. That's the beauty of Toastmasters. The diversity that makes it so beautiful and rich. So respect that cultural diversity. Understand from where the person comes from. Understand his accents, his so-called. If you feel that inadequacies, it's not a criteria to judge him. And that's why I tell when I go for delivering workshops in international speech, don't try to aid the Western. Bring a piece of who you are. Let them hear you. Listen to your Kerala accent or a Tamil accent or Sri Lankan accent or whatever it is. Give them a piece of who you are. And in my demo speech, I will show you that. I didn't choose the Western alphabet. Rule books, okay. Contestant eligibility, judge eligibility, official ballot use, direct process, confidentiality requirements. I'm not going to dwell on this because already, you just mentioned, it's all available in the rule book. And if I have to go through that, it'll take a long time. So it augurs well for all of you to please understand this. And in the tie-breaking process, in the chief judges session, they will explain as well. So I'm not dwelling on this, but this is something which the judge is expected to read through and understand before you actually embark on your judgment. Right? Principles of judgment. Judge the speech, not the speaker. The photo says dog. Right? Judge the speech based on the criteria, based on the elements in the judging criteria, and not how the speaker looks or how he's behaving or where he comes from or cultural background. All this doesn't matter. Avoid the halo effect. Like, oh, it's a star speaker. This for sure. This is my benchmark. And everybody above or below, there will be nobody above. Below, everybody will be below this guy or this girl, this lady. That's halo effect. Or reverse. So focus on criteria, not on personal taste. Sometimes the speech may not be in your personal. Some humor may not be in your or what you like to listen to or your personal taste. But don't mark it down because of that. If the humor is making sense and adding value to the speech, yes. Or if the statements it's making is not agreeable part of your culture, it's fine. So long as the speech demands it and it's making sense. So do not judge based on your personal taste across contests. Be consistent across all contests. Because judges have an obligation to Toastmasters International, like I said, but we have to get the best guy there, best lady there, and the audience, as I said, mentioned, and themselves, because always, like Naila decided to invite me because my evaluation is good, and if you chief judge knows that your judgment was not good, and this will pass on and it will affect you, and perhaps you will never be a judge again, right? Good judges are, I choose him because he's accurate, fair, trustworthy, and knowledgeable. This is also a tribute to him. He just passed away recently.
Yes.
Judge Frank Cassidy. Okay? So you have to be accurate. You've got to be fair. You've got to be trustworthy. Because though the four contestants will not know what you've done, but the chief judge will know. Right? Chief judge will know what you've done. And it will reveal the person that you are. Right? It's not good. Not good for you either. And it will demonstrate your ability to, your knowledge, your empathy, your attitude. Everything will demonstrate. The chief judge can see, you look at your judgments. So it's not something that you can just cover it away. But the contest will become victim and fall prey to this kind of behavior, not in control. That's why I said these are the four elements that chief judges should necessarily be. Barriers to objectivity. Speaker position. For example, one of the top speakers is the first position. Sometimes always, when you go to the contest, they say, oh, you're the first, oh my God, you're at a disadvantage, or some say, you're the first, good, because you're the benchmark. So either way, it's wrong, right? So there are judges, which happens like, Sampath speaking first. So this is my benchmark, Sampath 70 marks. So anybody above Sampath, slightly better than Sampath, 72, or then 69. So Sampath becomes a benchmark and Sampath will never win. So that's the thing. Probably somebody else, somebody below you. It's good. Right? That's the disadvantage of being first. Or someone, first place, you good, very good mark. And then you start everything below. Then someone will win, for sure. Right? So either of them was wrong. Like, as I said, chanting for the underdog. Like you say, Naila has been participating for the last 5-7 years. Poor lady. Let's not give her this time. Very lovely area. Poor lady, all the time she disqualifies the division. So let's give her a chance to go. Give Naila. It's not fair. That's not fair at all. The reverse hell of it. No, Naila's been winning all the time. This time, no. Don't sit this time. So these kind of prejudices or, the stuff that can creep in inadvertently because we're humans. We are a bundle of emotions, thoughts, and that comes into our mind. Sometimes a momentary lapse in this, conscious effort will make a tendency to err, right? So, second time around, okay, this lady's winning. The last year she won, this year don't you? Not the norm. Oh, she spoke something completely different. What a whack! Like it happened to me, in one speech. I don't know, some of you must listen to the speech, the division level. Usually all speeches elevate the audience and make you feel peppy and up. And I also gave a good message. But my speech was about dementia, my mother's suffering and stuff. So the last statement that I gave in my speech was not elevating me. I said, who knows? A day may come when I will stare in the face of my son, wondering, who is he? Right? There are some people in the audience who said, why did you do that? Because that was you were bringing the speech up and then suddenly brought it down. He said, there is no fixed formula. You can invent formula. That's the point. It gets stuck in this straight-jacketed thinking, and patterns, and you have to break the pattern. I tried that in the speech. Sorry, one at me, but I didn't make it to the district. But this is the mindset. we need to break. There is no permanent system. Yes, opening body and conclusion. This is what it demands. In fact, when I made it in Kuwait in 2004, I was at the 9th project of my speed. Inadvertently, I just made it a club and area and division, the first place when I did not go, and out I was there in the district international speech contest. And the 9th speech was, in those days, the CTM manual was persuade with power. It is not inspiration. I spoke about safety. Can you imagine? Safety for international speech at district level. I had no clue. Because I was pushed. I was not interested in the contest. My president, my VP education said, Suresh, use your 9th project. This one speech project will be finished. Then I found myself building it without and then in the district, and Jim Key in the audience, and I'm speaking of safety and fire. Can you imagine? So it's okay to speak, but it's not a law. It's not a law. But then you know what? The effect of that, 2004, and after that I went back again in 2008 or 11, I'm not sure, when your district 116 Koka Prasad won, and Kuwait, and DTM Sunny came. I'm meeting him after 7 years or 8 years, and he said, Suresh, fire, fire, fire. So it did make an impact. You know, so they say you know, Balsam moment if you know that. You know, you believe. I made a mistake. I was scared of. After that, I realized, what the hell did I do? You know, but I got the certificate from Jim Key, world champion of public speaking. That it was a fantastic experience. Anyway, so personal prejudices and personal preferences should not come into this intelligence. Okay, the pitfalls that you should avoid, especially in the humorous speech. Sometimes even crass humor, you know, some humor which not really good to hear, or sometimes, but there are people who like it. They clap and hoot. I know, and sometimes they come. I've seen some clubs coming in a plan. The club, for everything, they'll shout and laugh and clap. You know, so don't get carried away, influenced by audience reactions. I've seen a pattern. Some guys come and say, "You stay here, you stay there." I stand there. You know, this is happened. And 20 of the members were in this conference, all of it. And then you see, oh, the audience is from all over the corner. It's too good. You know, so don't get carried away with that. Overemphasizing your delivery versus content. Content is king. When you go to the criteria, you'll see content is 50%. So don't get carried away with delivery. Content, outstanding delivery, but no depth in the subject. Or content is not effective. Maybe his delivery is superb. He uses beautiful body language, gestures, expressions, voice, everything is superb. But if the content is weak, then it's like having a foundation weak and a beautiful structure. It will only crumble someday, right? So fundamental is that don't get carried away with delivery, because that's what you see. Content you have to listen and absorb. It's not always what you see. Don't let accents, culture, language bias judgment. Very important. And why I'm saying this, because it's also for the contestants. Don't try to put on an accent that you're, or don't try to be the person that you're not. You know, bring a piece of you. Let it be rustic. Let it be, the grammatical errors should be avoided. You should speak in a way that every nationality can understand what you say. And that's it. Clarity, that's fine. Show them who you are, where you come from. Favorite friends, club members, or popular speaker. This is something. Okay, this is area one. You shouldn't give the guys. Last time also area one, 2-3 times they only winning. It's area one, you shouldn't give. No? Or friend. No? Oh, it's area no. My buddy. We joined those ones together. He should go this time. Kind of things should never be done. These are pitfalls we should avoid. This will affect the credibility of the contest and the judges. Right? Ethical responsibilities. No disclosure of preferences, expose preferences. Never disclose the scores. Tear away the scores. I've seen sometimes people leave it to go, and then it's somebody. One actually happened to one of my friends. One kid picked it up and showed him, gave it to him. That's this. You know? Oh my God! I was not even in the 4th place. So it's bad, right? It doesn't leave a good thing. So avoid that. Tear it off, or keep it in your coat pocket and take it over. Whatever you want to do. Uphold the spirit of fair competition. Respect confidentiality at all times. Never reveal what you've done with judge We can speak to, there are occasions where the speakers come to you and talk to you and say, how was my speech? What did you like about my speech? It's a very tricky question to ask. If you reveal you should be very careful as what you reveal to them, the contestant, as to what you like and what you like. So just say the speech was good, or we'll talk about what areas we need to improve, or how we can improve the speech afterwards. Don't reveal because even what you say could give away what you've done in the voting panel. There are many occasions where contestants, I can't blame them, they are curious. Or they see a senior Toastmaster who's been experienced guy, they want to use the opportunity to come and say, can it be what did I do wrong? It's an innocent question, not intentionally to bring out what you would judge, but then it could lead to revealing what you actually have done as a judge. Right? So I think that's it about I think I'll go to the misconceptions that we need to avoid. And then I'll go into the complete, I think the criteria. Okay, misconceptions I'll talk about later. But as I said, content, delivery, and language. This is the elements on which the judging is being done, judge is done, right? So if you notice, content is 50%. That's why I said don't get carried away by delivery or language, because content is 50%. Remember that. So I'll go into that details. The content, the speech development, structure, organization, support material. So if how the speech is going is constructed on the premise on which how the opening is there and how it's actually flowing through and how it's going to its logical conclusion is very important. That's the way the whole flow of the like the river. And if there are any impediments to the flow, those should be observed as well. And what is actually helping in aiding the flow to where the speaker wants to take you, or the destination which he wants to explain or bring a story or bring a conclusion to the story, is something we should look at very carefully. Right? It's not that we just listen to the story and then mark down. I have seen sometimes we sit like this together, more close to each other as judges. I have seen in my previous experience, there are judges, sorry, not guys, there are judges who say, Sampath, 64. Suresh, better, 73. William Cherian, 55. Not even going through the criteria. That's not good. Very unfair, right? Look at each of the elements. How was the structure of speech? How is it organized? Were there some good usage of English language, like effectiveness, which actually aided the purpose of his speech, which kind of embellished his thought processes, embellished the philosophy or the content of the speech. All of these things have to be analyzed. If you look at it, it is complicated. It's not as simple as easy as it sounds. Because if you want to be a good judge, you have to look at it very, very critically. Effectiveness, how effective he was in conveying his message to the audience. Whether some nuances have been missed out, or he jumped too fast and the point transition was not clear. All these things need to be looked at, and that's where this development comes. And then whether it was logical, whether he was jumping from one place to another without actually bringing a clear transition from in terms of the chronology of the events or time or whatever the speech demands. These things have to be very, very clear and analyzed before you actually put the marks on the 50%. Right? So speech development, effectiveness, and speech value. These are three important parts of the content. So these points, these form 50%. This can actually make or break the contestant. Okay? So it's a very important part of it. So this needs to be specifically or specially given special attention. And then physical, physical appearance, body language, voice. I'm not saying, physical. I mean to say not how she looks or how he looks. Whether he looks handsome or pretty or whatever. Whether he's presentable and he's making his appearance, his movements, his body language, his voice language, everything is voice and body language have got so much of correlation with each other, right? So whatever because in a 1 hour session, we can give anecdotes and jokes and stand in one place and crack jokes and take the audience slowly into the palm of your hands and then deliver it. It's just 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So you must he has to bring everything that he has into the speech in 7 minutes and 30 seconds, right? So then There's no time for you have to see how his movements are, whether he's just moving up and down, like pacing up and down, and then judges are having to look at it like a ping pong ball, like it doesn't make sense. So it's just like movements have to be purposeful, not orchestrated. And movement should be adding value to his speech and should be part of his speech. Not like for one speech I said, I started from here. I said, I'll just give you an example. I lived in a small town, a small home that was tucked away amidst the green mountains on one side and the blue sea on the other. And a quick walk from my home would take me to the bus stand. And I came to say, and I put the bus stand there. And every time I refer to the bus stand, it was there. So everybody would picturize the bus stand. What happened? My idea was that judges, okay, movements, yes. This moment is, I got my mark for that. So it has to be crafted into the speech. So these are all things that you should look at, judge. The movement has to be purposeful and not just orchestrated. Voice should denote the seriousness of what he's saying. If he's talking about something which is very, very personal, or something which is affecting his grief, he goes down. But if he's excited, he starts speaking louder, right? If he says, it was a football match, and people will Pele was scoring goal. Doesn't still go, right? So football match, why do you think that the commentators start yelling, yeah? So that's how it is. With sense of urgency, speak faster, bring down the volume, the pace, the intonation, the ups and downs, all these things matter to make the speech effective. The manner, he's looking down, he's shy, and lack of enthusiasm, eye contact. Eye contact is such a beautiful thing in human, behavior. If I look at someone all the time, no matter if you're looking only at someone, all of you will look at me. Yeah, that's psychology. But if I look down, probably you will start looking at more. That's psychology. Unless the speech demands that you should look away from the audience for some reason, you should maintain eye contact. If possible, span the entire audience. For example, in my speech, I said, but when I went to wash, I saw my mom standing and staring. Mama, you want to wash? Yes. I can't stare at the Shariah and say, staring at the wall, right? I have to stare at the wall. I have to move my eye contact. So unless the speech demands that you move your focus from the audience, you should not. And these are the elements that you should look at as part of this. Right? That's why I'm bringing this speakers, contestants perspective also into this. So these are the elements that you should look at as a judge. Because what you say, only so much. How you say it is so much. You tell your child, 5-year-old child, better give me the chocolate. He'll give you. Give me the chocolate. Why? He'll ask you. The same thing. Give me the chocolate. He'll say, give me the chocolate. What? Give me the chocolate. No. You should remember this Mohammed Katani's speech. His child was writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And he said, hey. He kept writing. So it matters how you say it. Right? So all this, that's why it don't matter what you say. It matters how you say it. So these elements have to be looked at as a judge. Appropriate is like using of good language, positive language. Which try as metaphors and using situations like makes it more lively and entertaining. These things to be looked at as well. Characters of language. Okay? Very important. I'm running out of time, so I have to be a bit fast. Finally, the judge's ballot. Make sure that you mark the clearly, legibly, and then you sign the judge's ballot and with your name. Otherwise, it's pointless exercise. Your ballot will just put in the trash. So completely exercise in futility, if I may. Right? If you don't do it correctly. It's very important for the contest, and for the judge to make sure that he or she writes contestants' names in all caps and sign the judgment form with her name, his name. Right? So this is what it is. So the tie-breaking speaker, sometimes you'll find yourself with a tie-breaking form. The chief judge will not even tell you. But if you're a tiebreaker, you are expected to mark all the places from the first place to 10th place, depending on the number of speakers that contestants are there. Okay? And how the tiebreaker ballot will be used and how it's going to be affecting the, in the case of the tie, all this is part of the chief judge's training. I won't dwell on that. But if you're a tiebreaker judge, make sure that you mark all the contestants from first to the last. Right now, we will go into learning into practice. Okay, so I'm going to have a demo speech here now for one of the speakers, international speakers. But for this, as part of the evaluation contest also, those of you evaluation workshop also, those of you who would like to take part in the evaluation, the forms, please use the same form for an evaluation form for the same speech. And those of you who would be participating as part of the judges demonstration as well, judges judging demo as well. So please mark the ballots for the judging. Right? You can choose either or both. It's up to you. Okay, can we have the video?
Sanjay.
How many of you have heard to listen to World Champion Public Speaking Vikas Jigan? No. Yeah. He's 2007 World Champion. And I'm sure many of you have not. So I chose this. And I being from India, he's not a Western speaker. So like, I didn't bring purposely didn't bring the World Championship winning speech, the semi-final speech. Yeah. So, yeah.
Right.
Volume.
Volume.
Go back.
Yeah, just to, in case we are short of physical form, so you're free to use the QR code and scan and we get mark of
Yeah, that's just.
This is the one.
Pause it, please. Pause. Yeah.
Mic off. Yeah, we can hear it.
Voice not clear.
Okay.
Try to play on YouTube.
Dim the lights, please.
Volume.
Yeah. So the YouTube, so there's not much you could do about the quality of the recording.
Tonight, please help me welcome Vikas Jindran. So I learned to describe value on this chair. Some of those matter than anything here with I see them. It's all about Even if you have my mind wandered. And when the mind went back, my wife wandered me for medicine. Because of how I learned that opinion. I just spent the day in one of the most beautiful structures built by man. I could not remember the touch of white marble. I had no recollection of the beautiful carvings on those pillars. I had no memory of the flowers, the smell of something. Because I didn't find seeing a postcard. Why didn't complete? I didn't find it. I took a phone call from the airlines and what it was. It was a company from Punch last year. And before that, early in the morning, he told my mother, you realize I've been under the game and no more. I was gone. I had sometimes thought I was going to call. There was street on my face. I didn't remember the house in the day that I spent laying in this house in Ghana. I remember the huge banyan tree in his backyard. I remember his infectious smile, his gentle heart. And I gave for the first time my life, my whole life. If I had I would be filled with love. I'm burning more album. I'm bathing in the pride of magnificence. Of the Taj Mahal. Don't rely on the big people. There's no more. The touch, the smell, the sound, the feel. What remains is just a picture without the soul. Sometimes we belong,
First of all, my apologies. When you look at the video on your mobile, it looks good, but first of all, Shweta just reminded me that it was in 2007. It's like as ancient as I am, So, so can you look at the judging form? This guy. Yeah, Vikas Jagran in 2007. And by the way, he's an IIT graduate from Bengal, and also he's done his masters from MIT in US. He's worked for Shell Oil Company in the United States, and he's a general manager there in US now. So we've been in touch, and a good friend of mine now, just because, and we met at the international at the conference in Amman, and we spent 2 or 3 days together. So I'm sorry for the audio, but I'm sure you can look at it. This was not the World Championship speech. Perhaps if I had chosen the World Championship speech, the recording would have been better. But I thought World Championship speech, everybody was have heard it because it speaks the World Championship. But this is a semi-final speech, but good enough and for the judging, right? So let's look at it. Let's look at the judging. Can we go through the judging and look and then we'll talk about it. I'll give you 5 minutes to complete the judge's ballot. So if we can finish it quickly, we can have a quick discussion on the criteria and then we close. Yeah. Have you finished, Jari? I'm sorry to put pressure on you, but anyway, it's not a real contest, so I'm under pressure for time. You done? No? So let's go into the criteria on content. I just want to have a couple of views. So, what do you say? Everybody will reflect. I'm not going to give my opinion on what you said, but it will reflect, and all other participants will introspect on what you said and kind of compare, make notes with what actually you said, so we can have a, idea of where we are going. So, this is the island you voted? No, good hearing. Good hearing. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Anybody in the front? Huh? The content?
Sir, the speaker actually started off with a nice thought of what he's going to relate it to. So that made an impact for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And he continued his content based on that, giving a humor touch to it and super adding it at the end when he heard that his uncle passed away. When he was searching for other things where the real beauty was missed. That is what he linked with Taj Mahal and that.
Correct.
So that added a content to it, but I felt it's more depth was needed. It's my opinion.
Okay, no problem. How much did you give him, ma'am?
So I have marked for the speech development well.
Yeah.
The effectiveness of the speech, for that I have marked it as 7.
Okay.
And speech value ideas, I liked it a lot, so it was 23 for me. And the physical appearance, it was good from his.
No.
You want only from
Only
the
content.
content.
Yes. Yeah. So that's how much is that? 19 plus.
12 plus 9 plus 20.
Yeah.
21, 44.
44 out of 50. So look at, she said 44 out of 50. So is it in line, mostly in line with what do you think? Not necessarily, but just look at it with a pragmatic approach. Yeah.
I gave 40.
Yeah, fair enough.
Gave speech development 11 and the effectiveness is 9 and the speech value is 20.
Good.
Because the speech value I liked it more.
Correct.
Than I had put down, I felt overall what he was trying to say was good, but his main point that he was trying to bring that in life, rather than just staying in touch with postcards or one needs to get in touch really with that, be in that moment. So he was trying to talk about his story, about his uncle, but the metaphor took a lot. The postcard and the attachment, that took a lot of it. And like the earlier man said, the depth was missing. So I felt that he should have brought in the main part a little more rather than just going around with the Taj Mahal part. The depth was missing. 38 was for my intent.
Okay. See how different, I mean, almost they are alike, but the thought processes are different from each judge. That's what I'm trying to bring at. It's not necessarily you should agree on completely what each of them say. I'm not I'm giving my views on it because that's not what I expected. Anybody else? So let's go into the next part of it. Yeah, for the next part, for the second part. Yeah. Namrata?
So for me, the observation for physical, I felt a little bit as well, he was moving a lot and then to one side, towards his left side, it was looking. So physically, I felt it was the speech was not in line with this movement. Somewhere he's missing the dot, and that's where physically part I gave him 8. Voice was okay. Voice was good for my side, and for manner, yes, definitely, it was in line with the speech.
See, what I want to just clarify, if you say he was moving excessively, your opinion, it's valid,
Yes.
it's valid, but moving to the left or right, that is not,
No, he was more to his left side of the stage when he was moving and giving his.
It is more than what you should have moved.
Yes.
Okay. Next, anybody else?
Thanks.
Yeah, please.
So I gave 6 for all 3 areas. Physically, I felt I agreed with that. There was a lot of movement which was a little distracting, I felt. And then at one part when he was explaining the uncle's bungalow or something in Calcutta, he just stood there. He could have staged that part at a different section so that we could picturize, okay, that's where the bungalow. He was just there in the middle. And then he took a long part of it where he just went, he dipped into the part where he's talking about the death and all that feelings. But so that, for me at least, I felt it was just staged because at somewhere it was a complete one big monotone. The feelings did not come. At least I did not feel even that. I feel that, the pain, I could not see that. That's all. Yeah.
Anybody else, or we should go to the next? Move? Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next part. Message part, final.
Questions from the back are also welcome.
Yeah, back people are struggling.
Not only the people in the front.
Yusuf?
Yeah, I would like to give a overall comment on mine because
I was a bit distracted when I was watching at the speech. So it's a honest comment from me because being a judge, you have to be very focused on the speech. But I was distracted and the
Distracted by what?
no from something else.
Oh, that's
So yeah. No, I want to say that. I want to say that we have to be more focused on the speech, not about your personal matters or anything happening. What is happening around. So about the language, like appropriateness, I have given 8 marks, and correctness I have given 8, and overall I have given 76. But honestly, my honest feeling is the marking is not appropriate and correct and not fair.
You're scanning enough. That's what that's no problem. I don't know. Can you have a bike here? Here. Okay.
I did not. I cannot. I could not do the proper judgment.
Yeah.
The reason that after having all these speakers, when we have prepared many contests, we should have this time a live speaker. It is very simple. Because 5 minutes we spend on the screen. If we had a live speaker, it would have been better if everybody having the same.
Fair enough.
Next time, we do that.
Sure. Point taken. I thought we were flavor of the international speech from outside because anyway, that's a good point. So I think overall it was the speech. What I get from the audience is that the choice of the speech. The quality of the video was not good. That is completely my fault. Apologies for that. Because when you look at the mobile, you can't really understand the resolution and stuff, unless you project it. And I should have said a better video or had a bit wide live.
Did we get through this round?
He was the world champion.
This was
So semi-final.
semi.
Yeah. Maybe he was lucky. Okay. But his speech on the final was perfect. I didn't choose that speech because that's what many would have listened to that. So finally, a good judge ensures that the best performance is recognized, not the loudest, the funniest, or the most popular. Right? My final notes. And thank you very much, Naila and Madam. Many discussions. I don't open up for the questions and answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Suresh, for that wonderful session. Since we don't have time for Q&A, in case you have any questions or doubts regarding the international judging, I think you can always contact him to know more about it, to clarify your doubts. Yeah. So we will have a 10 minutes break right now, and let's be back.